G'day legends, it's Mark and Dad here from North Oz, and in today's video we're going for a drive in Mum and Dad's Prado 150. And yeah, we're just going for a little bit of a drive after we got ourselves a new set of tyres. And you know, a few of you guys might be maybe a little bit interested as to why we ended up going with the stock tyres as opposed to, you know, upgrading as a lot of people do with four-wheel drives. So on this channel I have four-wheel drives that I've upgraded tyres in terms of size and also going to different brands, but we ended up going with the Dunlop AT20s again, and in today's video we're going to explain why we ended up doing that.
Yeah, well, the original tyres that we got with the Prado, with this Prado, were great. I had no trouble with towing with the caravan behind, and the ride was always very good. We did a lot of Ks on those tires. I mean, there's still a little bit left to go. They had I think we did about 33,000 kilometers in the stock tires that came with this Prado, and I can't fault him. We never had any problem with aquaplaning, even with the caravan behind. The caravan when it was fully loaded, and I would say it would be around about 2,200 kilograms. And so yeah, we never had any problem. Yeah, towards the end of the tire's lives, we did have a little bit of slip coming down a wet, slippery range, which was a bit scary. But I only slipped a little bit, and that was coming down, and I braked on a corner, and a little bit. Then the tires grabbed. We still had a little bit of tread left, not much, a little bit. The tire people reckon that we had about another 3,000 kilometers to go before we get new ones. So we decided to get them before that. And when Mark and myself went down to Townsville, we were coming back and we hit a lot of water on the road, and we had a lot of aquaplaning problems with those tires.
And that's pretty much like when, after that trip, that's when, you know, I was like, okay, we got to get a new set of tires for this. It doesn't matter what we do, whether we get an aftermarket set or whether we, you know, go with the same set. And I left that as a kind of like, we had a discussion about what we should do. And then that's when, you know, we reached out to TYRES with our decision. So TYRES are really good with supplying us with our tires. So if you guys want to get yourselves a set of tires and you want to get a discount on them as well, very competitively priced, and that's kind of, again, part of the reason why we went with the tires that we went with, because they're very reasonably priced, and with the discount code that TYRES gives us as well, we're very fortunate to be able to provide that to you guys here on the channel and pass those discounts on to you. So again, thank you to TYRES for helping us out with this project. But yeah, and the big reason why, you know, we ended up going with the stock tires was why, Dad? Why do we end up going with them again?
Well, the reason why was because we had no trouble with them. So if it's not broken, you don't fix it.
And 33,000 Ks with still a little bit of life left in it.
Yeah.
While towing, I mean, that's pretty good.
We did a lot of kilometers on these tires actually towing. So I would even venture to say 75% of the time of our kilometers were done on those tires. And I thought, well, that if I change tires, it may change the ride a little bit, and it just wasn't worth taking the risk. I had no reason to change. We got the new tires now, and they are terrific. New tires always feel great.
And like something that not a lot of people understand as well when it comes to tires, because, you know, I've had a few tires now, that when every company's tire feels different. So the second you go to a different brand, they use all the tires are all different. Doesn't you know? And within the brands, all their models of tires as well are also different too. So
I didn't want to take the chance.
So if you enjoyed the way that the vehicle was performing and you liked the way that it handled, then why change it?
Exactly, why change? I looked at all sorts of tires that were supposedly better at not aquaplaning, and I thought, well, you know, we never had any problems with these tires when they were in good condition before they were down to virtually nothing. And I thought, no, we just stick with them. And yeah, as Mark said, the price was great. The service was good.
You could always go with a more heavy duty tire, but I mean, so like for example, I run a double ply all terrain, and you get triple ply as well. But then it does add weight, and the more weight that you're adding changes the dynamics of the vehicle, especially in the wheels. It's very sensitive. Yeah. So it also adds fuel economy, adds rolling resistance, and when you're just towing and you're not really doing a huge amount of off-road, really the only off-road you do might be a little bit of a gravel road every now and then.
Into the caravan park.
Into the caravan park. Like that's pretty much the extent
that's about it.
Of your off-road escapades. But I mean, apart from that, you're not really going off-road much, so why sacrifice the fuel economy 24/7? It just didn't make much sense. So I guess after sitting down and having a good think about what this vehicle does, this vehicle tows, no point in having going up to a 32.7 inch tire, trying to get maximum fit as much tire under the fender as possible. It just wasn't worth it. Just didn't need that extra weight, didn't need the extra rolling resistance, don't need the extra ply in the tire.
Well, I was speaking to a guy who actually had same car as myself, just about, and he had he got these. Well, he did go off road, to be fair. So, and he was towing a one of those camper trailers, heavy sort of. I think he said it was a camper trailer. It was heavy, and he bought these tires with massive tread and everything. And he said he had a bit of aquaplaning with those tires.
A lot of people do mention that.
So I figured, well, I never had any problem with these for the stuff that we were doing. So
a lot of people do comment on these tires aquaplaning.
And as you said, his fuel economy was not as good, but he did not have the AT20s.
Oh, he didn't have these ones.
No, not stock standard. He had another brand of tire. I can't remember what he said. But it wasn't, because I asked him, I said, well, that's funny. I said, I never had any trouble with the AT20s. And he said he didn't have those stock standard. So I don't know what happened
like
there.
some people that I talk to, like, my sister, she had complaints about the aquaplaning on.
She did. I remember that.
On the exact same vehicle, like just a year later, models like 2022. So like probably one of the main points that Dad and I want to get across as well is that here on the channel, and on a lot of YouTube channels as well, people are always, modifying, it's how they create content as well. It's also how I create content too, is by chopping and changing and stuff. But, if your vehicle has a certain purpose and it, has a certain function, sometimes just kind of being the boring, person and just going and getting the exact same thing that the vehicle was sold with, sometimes that's just the best and safest thing to do, because you definitely won't have any issues with insurances, you won't have any issues with warranties, and there's no gray areas. It's like how the vehicle was sold to you, you're keeping it exactly the same spec tires, everything. And I actually did do something very similar with my FJ Cruiser. I kept the same tire size, exact same specs. I ended up changing the brand. But again, even then, it changed the dynamics of the vehicle. So
I didn't want to risk all that, so I stuck with what we had before. Because, as I said, if it isn't broken, you don't fix it.
Yeah, and it works.
It works.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of
very
one
happy
of the things,
with them.
So that's kind of one of the things that we just wanted to get across to you guys is that you don't always have to keep changing wheels, tires, and adding more and more things to your vehicles. If they work and you're happy with them, then just keep it and just keep just keep replacing it. It's obviously a lot cheaper as well to just keep a lower, I guess like a more basic tire. We didn't have any issues with ordering them from Tyre either. I was very quick. They had them in stock, so didn't have any issues there. So so we've been very happy with the performance of the new tires. We've had a bit of rain around, but we haven't noticed any aquaplaning since. And And that's the important thing, is that after that trip that we took down to Townsville where we had this torrential rain, yeah, we definitely had to change something. And we did. We just got a new set of tires, and that'll do you for another 33,000 Ks. So of happy motoring. So
happy motoring.
Yeah. Alrighty guys, so that is Dad and I's take on pretty much not upgrading. Really, it's just you know, just buying stock tires, and that's kind of why we came to that decision. So if you guys think the same, or if you have you know, anything that you want to add to the conversation, make sure you put it down in the comment section. And again, we have to give a big thank you to TYRES for helping us out with this video too. You know, they're big supporters of the channel, and yeah, and we absolutely love what they do. Very easy to work with, super easy to get them sent and installed, and everything just works really well. So yeah, so we're very happy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys very shortly in the next video.
See you later, everybody. Thank you for watching.